Hey guys, on this episode of EdTech, we're going to be talking with James King and the AV group that he created on Slack for higher ed tech folks. All this and more on EdTech.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is EdTech, episode 88, AV Slack Group.
Support for AVNation is brought to you by Crestron.
This is EdTech, the Higher Ed Tech Monthly Podcast. I'm your host, Bill O'Donnell, and this month I am joined by Mr. Ernie Bailey. How are you, sir?
I'm doing just fine.
Good. We also have James King from Stockton University. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Good to hear you. Also, we've got Mr. Scott Tyner. How are you, sir?
Hey, Bill. Nice to be back. I'm doing well.
Good. And as always, Mr. Rob Raspberry. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Always great to be with you guys.
Oh. All right. So first off, we actually brought James on as he runs a AV group on Slack, and it's mostly for, higher ed professionals such as ourselves and everything. I can always, wax on about these things, but James, if you want to explain to folks what the group is for and, how this helps out with the fine folks in higher ed.
Sure. Thank you, Bill, for allowing to talk about the Slack group. So basically, I created the group from following people on Twitter, and I was like, there's a lot of smart, educated higher ed people in AV, and to get everyone together and be able to discuss equipment and setups without the fear of being sale pitch. I was saying, don't buy that equipment, buy this equipment, and be more helping each other. Mm-hmm. So that's what this group started out to be, and it's the way we're keeping it. It's really geared just for people in higher ed, AV, IT. We got about 58 members right now on there, and it kind of really blew up since COVID because we're all sitting there going, how are you doing this? How are you doing that? So it's really, I feel the exchange of knowledge is really well done there.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think a lot of folks, we all look at it and it's not, with the exception of some of the stuff that Ernie deals with and everything, everyone's out to just go and say, how do I make this easier? How do I make this better? I tried doing this worked. I tried doing that doesn't work. My all-time favorite is still to this day that I knew an associate of mine who had to deal with a tech call, and that was someone decided to hook up the Crestron system to the DMX theater lighting system. Yeah. That's one of those ones where I heard that and I'm going, okay, why the two of those are mixing? But, once again, that's one of those just, hey, that's cool. I have no idea what the application is. But anyway, it's not to say AMX could do this better. Oh, Crestron could do that better. It's what actually works for you, because there have been times where I've found a product just talking with folks or there was a unique application. In fact, my all-time favorite memory is Ernie Bailey. It was teaching me about a couple of things, and one of them was Ernie. We were on the Infocom show floor, and there were two products you ended up telling me about. One was the Williams sound or Williams AV stuff, in which they were moving over into doing audio over IP. So instead of us having to constantly have the hearing aid or hearing reinforcement equipment and everything, you can just turn it into your smartphone. And then the other one was Ernie, help me out for a second. It was a microphone manufacturer.
Who was it?
It wasn't Clock Audio.
No, Earthworks.
Yeah. They had some of the most unique mic applications, and I just kind of went, wow. But, no sales. Yes. It was for the Rockhead. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Now, granted, I don't think our music department or our theater department's going to go for it, but still, it was just one of those, you take it from friends, and that's how you go with that.
We didn't put in the OR either, so.
Yeah. But like I said, James, so far, what's been some of the, like, do you have like subgroups within it, or do you have like specified channels, or is it just everyone's like, like ye olden bulletin board system?
So as Scott mentioned last month, which again, Scott, thanks for bringing it up. It is broken up into sections. So we have a AV IP section channel. We have a coding. Right now, one of the big ones is the COVID-19. So that one's really taken off of how people are handling things. Another one that's taken off is equipment discussion. So someone be like, oh, I'm using a Shure microphone, and this is what we're doing. What do you guys think about it? Type deal. Another one, we have events. So anytime there's events going out, we post in there so people know what kind of events are going on. We, of course, have the general. We have a networking one. Then, of course, the one I got from another group I had, it's called Oh Shiny. It's basically showing off what you did. Training, and then unified communication. Those are right now the channels I have. But as I told the group, is you come up with one, I'll create it. It's not really me saying this is how the group is run. It's more of here's it is, let's run it as a group.
Now, I'm actually kind of curious, but at least when you say unified communications, I mean, granted that's a wide range and everything, but I've got a sneaking suspicion there are definitely still some folks who are going and saying, okay, I have Zoom, and then I have some folks who have WebEx. How do I marry the two together? Or I'm sure there's at least some discussion of things like that in there.
Yeah, that one hasn't taken off as much. Actually, I've been posting more in there is because I've been running into the problem with a Logitech system, and I actually think I worked out. And actually, one of the members on there, Donovan, he's been very helpful with me on this. Basically, I was having the Logitech group system, and the camera kept locking up. And even after updating firmwares and stuff, we would lock up in a position. So we worked out all that details, but that was kind of how I created that channel. So it really hasn't taken off yet, saying, oh, we're trying to do this or that. But maybe it will once we get back into the swing of things. Yeah,
it's one of those things. I think it's, right now we're in the tail end of, depending on where you are, if you're in California, not so much. If you're in Florida, definitely no. But at least here in New Jersey, we're like, my school has already submitted a reopening package and everything, or at least, folks for us to get back into classrooms and everything. I have a feeling it'll probably pick up only because, as well as I do, there are going to be some folks who you're going to have faculty members who are like, I didn't get an exception. I have to actually teach on on campus. Can I do this from my office, or can I do this? And once again, we're going to be, it's going to be, okay, how do we go and marry up a system either in Zoom and with a classroom that doesn't have a PC and, X, Y, and Z. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if, you end up, as I say, that side of things ends up growing only because we're going to be putting, I have a feeling we're going to start putting UC into more spaces that were more, as I could put it, non-traditional spaces.
Kind of agree with you there. I see that happening a lot more.
Yeah. Like in our case, our CIO went full in on WebEx, and our faculty went and said, we want Zoom. And they went straight to the president, and the president said, okay, get an enterprise license for Zoom. Thanks. And we're like, but we have WebEx. He's like, yeah, go and get Zoom. So on the back end, and Rob's already smiling and just laughing because it's like, it's a branding thing. I listen, there are good and bad points to all of them. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
We've it's been talked on this podcast a couple of times, and that there are things that certain manufacturers do that's absolutely bulletproof, and there's some other stuff where you're like, yeah, that needs to go back in the oven. So yeah, as I say, if anything, I'm just looking at it of, okay, I'm just waiting for Logitech to kind of come up with their own touch panel, basically. For they're already working on. I'm sure they're already working on things. I mean, like Polycom already has gotten it to where their software. It's not homogeneous. Androgynous. There we go. So, anyways.
I thought you were going to say agnostic, but
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. You know what? Listen. I'm in my office right now. There's no AC. I'm just gonna blame it on that. Okay. Like my office is just slowly turning into a convection oven, considering the hot air coming out of here. Yeah, that's right. I jumped on the grenade. There you go.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. So, if anything, James, where can folks find the group at and everything? Do they like email you? Do they just like put it out on? Do they just start pinging you on Twitter? I mean, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, either you can email me at james.king@stockton.edu, or you can DM me on Twitter, or I'm also on LinkedIn as well. So those two platforms you can send me a message on there. My Twitter handle is AV_James King, and pretty simple. And,
Okay.
Yep. All really I'm looking for right now, or the group is looking for, is a EDU address. So we verify that you're in higher education, and we'll add you in.
Thanks for watching EdTech. If you want to watch more, please go on to AVNation.tv for the entire episode. Once again, thanks for watching. This is EdTech.